Alright, hey guys, so here's your guys' notes on dividing radical expressions, okay? So, learning goals, students will be able to add, subtract, multiply, and divide radical expressions today. So, first we started up with a warm-up, and when it comes to multiplication, you guys, just remember you multiply the two coefficients together, which is 3 times 5, and your two radicands together, which is 2 times 3. And we can't simplify that, you guys. We just get that, right? Can't simplify the square root of 6. Now, when we get to this, you guys, now, we got 2 radicands. We got to multiply together. So that's just going to be the square root of 4, right? Now, this is really getting multiplied by 1. So 5 times 1, you guys, is just 5 in the front. And then the square root of 4, you guys, that's just 2. So what we literally have is 5 times 2 for 10. Now, this is something that you guys just have to get accustomed to. When you guys multiply a radical times itself, regardless of whatever's here, when you multiply a radical times itself, you're going to get that number back. You guys see how it eventually became just a 2? No radicals, right? Rad 2 times rad 2 will eventually give you guys just back to 2. So that is a shortcut that is very much so needed, and if you guys need a little help with that, if you have radical of a number times radical of any number, it's just going to give you guys back the number, but without the square root or radical symbol, right? So just keep that in mind. Now for this one, you guys, this is your classic double distribution work. So 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 2 rad 3, you guys, so take the numbers on the outside. So 2 times 3 is just 6, and then we just write the square root of 3. Now the inner, negative 2 rad 3 times 3, you guys, so what's negative 2 times 3? That's just negative 6. Add the square root of 3. And then negative 2 rad 3 times 2 rad 3, you guys, that's negative 4, right? Negative 2 times 2, you guys, is negative 4. Now here comes the moment, right? Rad 3 times another rad 3, which is just going to give you guys 3. Because rad 3 times rad 3, you guys, is square root of 9, but the square root of 9, you guys, is just 3 with no radicals, right? And then you guys just simplify from here. Well, because these two radicands are the same, you do 6 minus 6, which means these cancel. So all we have is 9 minus 12, which is just negative 3. So that was the warm-up. We did that today. And now let's get to dividing radicals. So steps to, whoopsies, dividing. So if the radical remains on the bottom, you guys gotta multiply both the numerator and denominator by the radical only. You simplify fractions if you can, then you simplify your radical, and then you simplify fractions if you can. So let's get to this one. So the first thing I just noticed, you guys, is, do you guys see the square root of 16? Well, you should know that square root of 16 is a perfect square. The square root of 16 is 4. So we get this, and when you guys simplify that, you get 24 all over 3 rad 2. Now, can we simplify these fractions? Sure we can. We can divide top and bottom by 3. So we get 8 all over square root of 2. And then from here, you guys, we have a radical in the denominator, right? So we're going to multiply top and bottom by the square root of 2. So you get 8 rad 2 all over rad 2 times itself, you guys, is just 2. And then simplify again. 8 divided by 2, you guys, is just 4 radical 2. Okay, number 2. Okay, we can't simplify anything, can't simplify either of these, so let's multiply top and bottom by the radical in the denominator. Because anytime we do that, you guys, then we won't have a radical in the denominator. So, up top, 5 square root 3 times 15, you guys, that's 45. All over 4 times rad 15 times itself, you guys, that's just 15. Now, we can cancel a 5 from top and bottom, and that will give us a 3, you guys, right? So what we really have is rad 45 all over 12. So let's simplify our square root and see, after we do this, if anything else cancels, right? Pairs of 3s, left over 5, so we're gonna get a 3 on the outside, left over 5 on the inside, and we can simplify that fraction, right? Divide top and bottom by 3. So we get radical 5 all over 4. Number 3. Okay, we can't simplify anything. No radicals, no perfect squares, no fraction we can simplify. So multiply top and bottom, you guys, by radical 7, right? You take the radical in the denominator and multiply top and bottom by that number. 4 square root of the 2 times the 7, which is 14. And then 3 radical 7 times itself, you guys, that's just 7. 4 square root 14 all over 21. And that's our final answer, you guys, because we can't simplify square root of 14. And the 4 over 21, you guys can't simplify that fraction either. So here are these, you guys, okay? Here are the doyos, so you should pause the video and try these out for yourself. And then once you're ready, then play it to see how you guys do. Now, for number 4, something I really quick notice, you guys, is you should know what the square root of 4 is. That's 2. So when we simplify this down, you guys, 5 times 2 is 10. And we should be able to cancel those fractions, right, you guys? Could divide top and bottom by 10. So we really get 2 rad 12. So now, let's take the square root of 12 and possibly simplify this, right? Pairs of 2s, left over 3. So remember, this pair, you guys multiply it to the number on the outside. So it's 4 square root of 3. Now let's take a look at 5. Well, 5, you guys, you should know that rad 25 is a perfect square, right? 3 rad 5 all over 4 times 5. And we get 3 rad 5 all over 20. And nothing can simplify from here, so that would be your guys' answer. But if you guys didn't notice that, then you would have to multiply top and bottom by rad 25. So if you can see shortcuts, you take them, but if not, then you gotta do the whole process, right? Okay, these fractions can't simplify. There is no perfect squares or nothing we can simplify there, so look at the denominator and multiply top and bottom by that radical. So radical 5, multiply top and bottom. 5 square root of 15, because right, 3 times 5 is 15, all over 2 times radical 5 times itself, you guys, is 10. Nope, sorry, it's 5. And something you should notice, you guys, you could cancel the 5s from top and bottom. So rad 15 all over 2. Can't simplify rad 15, so that will be your final answer. Okay, so moving on. So now we're going to be dividing radicals with binomials on the bottom. So what are binomials? Well, binomials, you guys, is when there's 2 terms on the bottom separated by pluses and minus signs. So steps to multiplying this stuff, or dividing. So find out what the conjugate of the denominator is, multiply the numerator and denominator by that conjugate, and then simplify your guys' radical as much as possible. So for this one right here, you gotta multiply top and bottom, you guys, by the conjugate. And the conjugate of this, you guys, you take that, but it's the opposite of this number, right, or this sign right there. So 3 plus rad 3, you're going to multiply to top and to bottom. And this is where you guys got to do your guys' double distribution. We've done this before with imaginary numbers. And we multiply the first 2 terms together, you guys, and the last 2 terms. So, one step at a time. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times rad 3. Now remember, this is a number, a whole number. That's a radical, right? So you can't mix those up. So it's just going to be 2 rad 3. Negative 3 rad 2 times 3, you guys. That's negative 9 radical 2. Negative rad 3 over 2, you guys. Negative 3 rad 2 times rad 3, you guys. Negative 3. Actually, I'll color coordinate this for you guys so you guys can see it better. Negative 9 rad 2. And we get negative 3 radical 6. And then the bottom. Blues. So 3 times 3 is 9. And then reds. Negative rad 3, you guys, times rad 3. So a negative times a positive is a negative. Now rad 3 times itself, you guys, that's just 3. So on the top, you guys, now notice all of them are separated by addition and subtraction signs. So it's adding or subtracting your guys' radical numbers. You can only combine them if they got the same radicand. None of these have the same radicand, so you can't simplify the top so far, but on the bottom you guys can put 6. Now this is the answer, but there's a ton of you that want and are very tempted to do this, but that is incorrect, you guys. You cannot cancel the 6 with the 6. You only could cancel if all of these numbers have something in common that you guys can divide by all of them, which you can't, so that is your guys' final answer. Number 2, again, because there's a binomial, 2 terms in the denominator, we gotta multiply by the conjugate. So it's 2 minus 2 rad 3, 2 minus 2 rad 3, and this is where we gotta do our double distribution. The 2 and the 2, and the 2 rad 3 and the negative 2 rad 3. So follow the steps, right? 4 times 2, you guys, is 8. 4 times negative 2 rad 3 is negative 8 radical 3. 3 rad 2 times 2, you guys, that's 6 square root of 2. And 3 rad 2 times negative 2 rad 2, you guys, well, that's minus sign. This outer 3 times that outer negative 2 is going to be minus 6. And this inner 2 times this inner 3, you guys, is radical 6. Blue 2 times 2 for the blues is 4. And for the reds, you guys, 2 rad 3 times negative 2 rad 3. Well, positive times a negative is a negative. 2 times this outer 2 is 4. And square root of 3 times itself, you guys, is just 3. You guys simplify this. We get 8 minus 8 rad 3 plus 6 rad 2 minus 6 rad 6. None of that can combine. All over 4 minus 12. So 4 minus 12, you guys, is just negative 8. And then I'm just going to recopy all of that stuff. So the only way you guys could possibly simplify is this number, it should can you divide something out to all 5 of those? And you can. You guys can divide 2 to top and bottom. 4 minus 4 rad 3 plus 3 rad 2 minus 3 radical 6. All over negative 4. And there you guys have that, alright? So you should pause the video and see if you guys could get these first, and then play the video when you feel like you're ready to see what the answers will be. But try it out first, right? Practice. Okay, so for number 3, you guys multiply by the conjugate to top and bottom, which is 2 plus rad 3, 2 plus rad 3. Gotta distribute that. Distribute that. Multiply these together, and multiply these together. Okay, so we're gonna get 5 times 2, you guys, is 10. 5 times radical 3 is just 5 radical 3. 2 rad 3 times 2, you guys, is 4 radical 3. And 2 rad 3 times rad 3, you guys, well, the 2 stays in the front still, but rad 3 times itself, that's just 3. The blues, 2 times 2 is 4. And the reds, well, a negative times a positive negative, and rad 3 times itself, you guys, that's just 3. So on the top, you guys, well, I noticed that this 2 times 3, you guys, is just plus 6, right? So if we add those together, right, the 10 plus the 6, you guys, that's going to be 16. And then we can combine these because they got the same radicand. So 5 plus 4, you guys, is 9 square root 3. And on the bottom, 4 minus 3, you guys, is just 1. But anything over 1, you guys, is just that anything up top. So there you guys have that. Number 4. So multiply top and bottom, you guys, by 2 plus 3 rad 2. Because remember, take the denominator, but it's the opposite sign of that. So let's distribute this. So 1. And then those. And then this 2 with that 2. And this negative 3 rad 2 with this 3 rad 2. So 1 times 2. 1 times 2 is 1. Oh, sorry, 2. 1 times rad 3 rad 2, you guys, is just 3 rad 2. 2 rad 2 times 2, you guys, that's just 4 rad 2. And 2 rad 2 times 3 rad 2, you guys, so 2 times 3 on the outside is 6. And rad 2 times itself, you guys, right? That's just 2. The blues, hold on. 2 times 2 is 4. And for the reds, you guys, negative times a positive is a negative. And then 3 times the outside 3 is 9. Rad 2 times itself is just 2. So now we can simplify this stuff. Well, this 6 and this 2, you guys, that's just plus 12, right? And then this negative 9 times 2, you guys, that's really negative 18, right? So when we simplify this stuff, up top, we can combine this 2 with that 12 for 14. And then 3 rad 2 plus 4 rad 2, you guys, that's 7 radical 2. And 4 minus 18, you guys, on the bottom is just negative 14. So can we simplify this number, and this number? Yes, we can divide top and bottom by 7. 2 plus rad 2 all over negative 2 would be your guys' final answer. So this definitely requires you guys to practice, so keep on practicing and you guys should be okay. Alright? Good luck, you guys. Peace.